Okay, friends, hi again. So, life principle number 5 is start each day with a positive mindset. And I can't say enough about mindset. You'll hear me say that a whole lot in these video clips. But starting our day with a positive mindset is really quite essential to having a positive outlook. And there's a ton of research about optimism. We have better health when we are optimistic. We even recover from illnesses quicker. And there's some studies that show we have a longer life. Optimists live longer than pessimists. And I wouldn't say to label yourself as a pessimist or an optimist necessarily, but strive to be optimistic. Strive to, it goes along with some of the previous video clips here, believing in possibilities, having hope, hopefulness. And starting with a positive mindset is not always easy, especially when we are going through a difficult circumstance. If we are discouraged, if we're depressed, if we're lonely. I mean, there are many situations where it's really difficult to have a positive mindset, but it is possible, even in the most difficult circumstances. I've seen people who have lost a parent, lost a dear loved one, and they still find things to be positive about. I'm not saying it's realistic all the time. I know it isn't. And we all need our moments where we grieve and where we, kind of just be in that space. But what I would encourage you is when you are in that space, where you're not being positive, not being optimistic, or you're in that space where you're discouraged or depressed, I would encourage you to think about whether being in that space is helping you to live your best life and be the person you want to be, and be even the person maybe that your deceased loved one wants to be. It's okay to stay in that space for a period of time, but at some point, right, it goes from productive to unproductive, from healthy to unhealthy. And it's really important to recognize, it's like a bell curve, and it's important to recognize when it goes from helpful to unhelpful. So strive to start each day, though, with a positive mindset. Outside of all those other circumstances, I know I just mentioned some pretty tough situations where it can be really hard to be positive. But start with starting your day in general with a positive mindset can be really helpful before your work day, before a stressful presentation, before a tough conversation you have to have with a loved one. If you're in a traffic jam, there are many situations where, focusing on the positive in it is a really good thing. You could be in a traffic jam and maybe there's an accident up ahead, but you're not in the accident. Sad for the people that are, tragic, but you're not. So you could be grateful and thankful and have a positive mindset about that. If a loved one has passed, you could be grateful for the fact that they passed peacefully, or find another positive to focus on. Maybe you got to see them in the last day or a couple days before they passed. The start of your day. I remember when I left my job, my full-time tenured job in a school, and people thought I was crazy. And I started to think maybe I was crazy too. And I remember waking up and I literally, like this, I think it was the September that I didn't go back. The first year I didn't go back. I had moved on from that position and went back into private practice as a life coach. And I can remember starting to have panic attacks because I kept thinking to myself, what have you done? You left your full-time tenured stable job. What are you going to do now? How are you going to make this work? You don't have enough clients to pay the bills, and on, right? So I really had to learn to ward off those panic attacks and those limiting beliefs. I really had to change my mindset. It was a battle, but I did it. And I promised myself I would wake up every day and say, you know what, Suzanne, You can do this. You have what it takes. You are intelligent. You are caring about people. You are passionate. You are determined. You are hardworking, So I tried to, think of every reason why I would and could be successful. And it made all the difference in the world. It changed around the trajectory, really, of my practice and my work, my consulting work, as well as my life coaching work. And I can't say enough about starting your day in a good place. So I encourage you to do that today and every day forward. Start your day with a positive mindset, and that is life principle number 5. Take care, and God bless you.